Hey guys, thank y'all for coming back. Let me first of all apologize to my audience. I was supposed to do my live hours earlier, but I had an emergency situation that I had to go and attend to. I am back home now, and I said, let me go ahead and knock out my live, even though it's a little late. I know a lot of you guys on Fridays and on weekends, y'all kind of be up a little late. So I said, I'm gonna go ahead and still do my live since I know you guys are looking for me, was looking for me. I was not home to where I could I guess edit my live to a later time, but we're here. I appreciate you guys for being so patient and waiting for me so that I can come on in and knock this live out for you. Okay, by now you guys have already heard about Diddy and what's going on, but I have not had a chance to talk about it on my platform yet. So now that I'm a little late, y'all know I'm used to getting my stuff out earlier and before time, but child, when you got to handle stuff, when things come up and things arise, it's beyond your control. You have to handle those things and then get back to the business. Okay. But let me go ahead and get into this live. Everything said in the video is alleged and in my opinion and is used for fair use and entertainment. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into the first topic. Again, thank you all for your patience. Thank you all for your patience. All right. Let's go ahead and get this up. I wanted to play this where they were talking about Diddy. I kind of saved this live. Let me share. And I want to play this. We know what the verdict is, but I want to play this because this kind of gives a little insight on some stuff that was going on prior to the verdict. All right. Let's go ahead and get into it. Fox News clip. Shout out to them. Let's go ahead and play some of this. I'm going to stop and talk in between. All right, because that's what YouTube asked us to do. So let's go ahead and get into it. Again, shout out to Fox News. Let's go.
Is underway for Sean Diddy Combs. He's the music mogul facing up to 20 years in prison on charges related.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. What's going on here?
Now in Manhattan federal court, a sentencing hearing is underway for Sean Diddy Combs. He's the music mogul facing up to 20 years in prison on charges related to prostitution. CB Cotton, she is there at the Manhattan federal court, and we get to you, CB, for an update on what's going on inside right now.
Hey, Dana, good morning. Well, droves of media are here to watch as Sean Diddy Combs, once one of the most powerful men in music, now begs a judge for mercy. The proceedings are officially underway. The judge just told the defense team he'll allow Diddy's children to speak. Well, we're also expecting to see this nearly 12-minute long video showing Diddy in and out of the spotlight over the years. It's compiled like a campaign ad, and we see and hear Diddy motivating school children, visiting loved ones in the hospital, praying, and spending moments at home with his 7 kids who sing their father's praises at the end. Diddy also wrote a nearly 4-page letter to the judge, marking the first time he's made any substantial comments on the case. In it, he says he was, quote, reborn behind bars, and he offers an explanation for his ways, writing, quote, I lost my way. I got lost in my journey, lost in the drugs and the excess. My downfall was rooted in my selfishness. I have been humbled and broken to my core. Diddy also apologized to former girlfriend, R&B singer Cassie Ventura, who testified that she endured years of physical and emotional abuse from the rapper, saying Diddy made her feel forced to have sex with male escorts while drugged. She wrote to the judge ahead of today saying, quote, while the defense attorneys at trial suggested that my time with Combs was akin to a great modern love story, nothing could be further from the truth. Her note, one of several from other accusers who wrote to the judge as prosecutors prepare to argue that even though the rapper was acquitted of the most serious charges, the sentence should reflect the evidence of violence. Take this, for example. During the trial, prosecutors played that brutal hotel surveillance video showing Diddy beating Cassie.
Oh, we ain't gonna watch that. We're not gonna watch that. We're not gonna watch that. We're not gonna watch that.
Of at least 11 years.
Okay. Yeah, let's move forward past that. Okay, yeah. I forgot that was on there. Yikes. I'm gonna have to edit that.
Is filled with cameras, and it's not just members of official broadcasting cable channels that we know. There are also TikTokers here, YouTube streamers here, Twitch streamers. We've seen a couple clashes this morning also.
he did, but then essentially plead his case relative to his sentencing. All of that'll
Let me back it up just a little bit. Sorry, guys.
he's an allocute, as they say, which is addressed to court directly, and that's an opportunity for him to not only own what he did, but then essentially plead his case relative to his sentencing. All of that'll happen before the sentencing. One mini drama that seems to be developing is that it was widely reported that Mia, his assistant, was going to be one of the people who would speak, and it was going to be a victim impact statement. And that is to say, she was going to come in and talk about how Diddy's behavior negatively impacted her life. And obviously that mitigates towards a higher sentence. Now the reporting seems to be that she's not going to speak. Now, just so we understand, she is not relevant to the two crimes that he's convicted of, okay? So she could have been relevant in the larger scheme that the government had brought, but that didn't go that way. So as a result, it's a little tenuous as to how connected to the entire thing she really is.
I feel like she may have been intimidated by someone in Diddy's camp in terms of not standing up and testifying. The individual named Mia, she was supposed to do a impact statement, but she backed out at the last minute. I feel like someone may have gotten to her and told her if she did, that something may happen to her, and she got scared and decided not to do so. All right, because y'all know Diddy was really thinking he was getting out. Anybody that got in his way in terms of doing that was definitely going to be a problem and was probably threatened not to do so.
That's not the standard. It's up to the judge. The judge can let her speak, but if she comes in as a victim impact statement and says things that are negative about him, he has the opportunity to push back. He has an opportunity to give his rejoinder. Consequently, now it looks like, and I don't know if that's why, but as a result, it looks now like she's not going to speak. And so I don't know if we're going to get a victim impact statement from anybody. All of the testimony may be on Sean Combs' side.
All right, so as you guys may know, I'm going to stop sharing that. As you guys may know, the judge had already found out that Diddy started making plans to do speaking engagements as early as next week. So he had already, I guess, felt in his mind that he was going to be getting out without even hearing what his sentencing or verdict on his sentencing was going to be. So he was feeling real sure of himself. And the judge pretty much let his ass know, yeah, no, it ain't going to be that. So let's get into some other things that was going on leading up to Diddy's sentencing. Okay, some things that you guys may not have known about. I feel like his attorneys were throwing anything at the wall to see what would stick. Now, not to say that he probably wasn't, but my thing is, in the 4-page letter that Diddy wrote, he made it sound like he was this star prisoner and that everybody respected him as such, and he didn't have no issues, and he was in there doing these classes, and he was able to walk around and be untouched. But then here it's saying that Diddy was almost shanked in jail. Like, when did this happen? This is the first we're hearing about this when it's time for him to be sentenced. Like, I feel like another ploy to play on the mercy of the courts in terms of now reporting it. Why is this the first time we're hearing about this? Okay, so they're saying that Diddy's defense is back on the mic at his sentence hearing. Says that, and they're claiming that he almost got attacked with a makeshift knife, was said that way, inside the Brooklyn jail where he's been detained since his arrest. Now, it said the defense lawyers, Brian Steele, just said that Diddy's got a target on his back at MDC Brooklyn because there are certain people who would gain prestige if they harm him. They says, and then claimed that a guard at the jail stopped a man that had a shank that was trying to do something to him. Okay. Now, it goes on to say that Diddy's been held at the detention center since he got busted in September of 2024, and he lives in a room with 24 other men surrounded by drug use and violence. It said that Steele said that Diddy hasn't slept more than 2 hours in a row since being incarcerated, and said that and he only eats bag of chips while he's incarcerated. So he don't really eat no food because maybe he thinks somebody's gonna put something in his food. But they said that he's only eating bags of chips while he's incarcerated. I know he'd be hungry as hell. Said that Steele also claimed that Diddy would have pleaded guilty to the Mann Act charges that he was convicted of, but he says that excuse me, but he says that the government did not offer that deal. It goes on to say that Diddy was tried on charges of racketeering, conspiracy, and SEX trafficking, but the jury acquitted him of those counts. Do I feel like that Diddy would have pled guilty to the Mann Act, knowing that that would give him 20 or more years or maybe life? I don't think he would have done that. I think that's total bullshit, because he was still before he found out his sentencing and before he was found guilty, he was still throwing things at the wall to see what he could do to avoid taking accountability in terms of putting up $50 million, including trying to appeal the case. He tried to appeal it. His people came back and tried to appeal and was saying that Cassie and all these other people were lying and that they were all girlfriends and that he was only filming these because of some fetish. So he still wasn't taking accountability. So do I feel like if he was offered the opportunity to plead guilty to a Mann Act or the Mann Act charges, that he would have done so willfully? Hell no. I don't believe that at all. All right, so let's take this down. I do not believe that he would have done that. Okay. Now let's get into his attorney, who also was said to be R-worded or had some type of sexual assault done on her. And I feel like this was a little too close for comfort in terms of her being his attorney, representing him, because I feel like she's kind of took her job a little too personal. I don't feel like she was professional enough. And I know that, this probably was a very emotional case, but I feel like you have to put those things aside and still remain, professional while you're in a state, in the court of law, and while you're representing your client. Like, why are you crying more than the family? Now, I get it. It's a personal thing. You went through something very similar to some of the women who were said to be R-worded or sexually assaulted. But for you to sit up there and cry on defense of Diddy, as hard as his own children and as hard as his own family was crying, it was, to me, not a good look professionally. All right. I'm just saying. So this is her. Of course, y'all know that's Diddy, but this is the attorney in question. Okay, Miss Nicole Westmoreland. All right, says that one of Sean Diddy Combs' defense attorneys just broke down in tears in court. Nicole Westmoreland is getting emotional as she discusses why the mogul has been so important in his community. All right, so Westmoreland says that Diddy was a shining example for Black people with his business empire, pointing to his record label, fashion line, TV network, and liquor brand. It goes on to say that she says that he sent a message and inspired others. This is her. All right, says she was sniffling and sobbing as part of her emotional plea. Said that Westmoreland says that Diddy changed the culture, changed the industry, and changed people's lives, because what people recognize is that if Mr. Combs could do it, then they could do it too. Ciao, bye. All right. They also said that Diddy broke down crying as well in jail, and he also was kind of doubled over, like he was in a praying position or so. I think I got a picture for that. I'll show it here in a second. Westmoreland also talked about charter schools that Diddy opened up in underprivileged areas, and said his work on a Vote to Die campaign changed the way political operations are rolled out. Says that she told the judge that Diddy was remorseful after spending the past year in jail, claiming that he's clear-headed, sober, determined, and focused. Now that goes on to say that Westmoreland says that there's no benefit to throwing Diddy in prison. Well, obviously the judge thought so, because his ass is still in there. Okay, he is still in there. All right, so let's continue, because there's more on Diddy. Y'all know this video is about Diddy, and then we're going to get into this Tyrese news as well. All right, so your girl got to play catch up, because I was gone. Okay. I got to get mine out too. So Diddy's lawyers tell the judge that he on occasion would hit the women that he loved. Do that sound right? And argues that he's taken responsibility and is a changed man. Again, it said that Diddy's lawyers tell the judge that he occasionally would hit the women that he loved. So that make it right? I'm trying to figure that out. According to It's On Site, thank you, it says that Diddy's defense attorneys told the judge that on occasion that he would hit the women that he loved, referring to Cassie Ventura, but instead Combs has taken responsibility and changed. It goes on to say that the lawyer argued that Combs would have pled guilty again to the Mann Act, as we said before, if prosecutors allowed it, and went on to describe the harsh conditions that Combs faces in MDC Brooklyn. That is the prison he is currently being housed in until they move him elsewhere, including threats from inmates and being forced to eat from bags of chips. Okay, I mean, at least you're eating. That's jail, honey. All right, so you guys can see here where they're laying that all out, where they're saying that this is what his attorneys are saying. Attorney Steele was saying that occasionally, yeah, Diddy would hit his girlfriends. I wouldn't call Cassie a girlfriend. I would definitely call her a trafficking victim or a client. Okay, because you don't do people like that you love. Let's move along into what Cassie and her attorney has to say about Diddy's sentencing. Well, first, let's go ahead, before we get into that, let's go ahead and get into what his sentencing is. And just in case you guys were not privy to that information. Okay. This is the picture they were saying Diddy said a dramatic moment. Sean Diddy Combs fell to his knees after learning his fate. I found that picture. All that dramatic shit. All of that dramatic bullshit that he found himself into. All right, let's get this up. All right, so this is what Diddy is dealing with for his sentence. It said the defense response to the Brian Steele, a defense attorney for Combs, slammed the judge's sentence as un-American. Okay, so they're upset that Diddy received some time. They said it still told CNN that he thinks the sentence sends the wrong message and argued that Combs was sentenced for conduct that the jury did not find him guilty of. So they were hoping that he would get out on time served, but the judge did not see it in that way. It said that Combs speaks and says that he addressed the court earlier and begged the judge for mercy, calling his actions disgusting, shameful, and sick. Said that Combs apologized to the victims and all the victims of DV. Okay. Let's get to the next one. All right. All right. It said, oh, no, I already did that one. Sorry. I'm tripping. All right. Remove. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Y'all give me a second here, okay? Did I get the right one? Child, I was trying to get all this stuff uploaded right quick. Lord, hold on. Hold on. Y'all know I'm usually together. All right, here you go. Let me send it on over. Y'all give me one moment, okay? I think I uploaded the same thing twice trying to hurry. Okay? All right. Let me get that. And then I'm going to be right back with you because it came right over. Hallelujah. All right. So let's go ahead and add this one up. Okay. Hold on, guys. Thank y'all for being so patient. We're here. Okay. We are here. There we go. Boom. All right. So as you guys can see, Combs' sentence said that Sean Diddy Combs has been sentenced to 4 years and 2 months in prison for his conviction on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Said he also must pay a $500,000 fine. I also hear that he has 7 years of probation. When I tell y'all 7 years of probation is a lot, that means you can't fuck up on no capacity. And if you do, your ass is going back to jail. Do I feel like he should have gotten more than 4 years and 2 months? Absolutely. He's already served 14 months. So they're going to, of course, deduct that from that. And then the remaining time he will serve and then be out. Okay. But I feel like they should have given him the 11 years that they originally were going to give him. But hey, you see his attorneys are saying, hey, y'all could have not given him that much. And they argued that he was pretty much being punished when the jury had already made their decision on what he was guilty of or not guilty of. But I, again, feel that he should have gotten more time for the crimes that he committed. And then for his attorney to turn around and say, oh, he occasionally slapped some hoes around when he got mad. But, that was his girlfriend's and that's just what he chose to do. I disagree. Okay. All right. So let's get into this Cassie. All right, yeah. Let's get into this Cassie response because y'all know she said she was scared out of her mind for him to get out because she just knew he was going to come for her. She just recently moved. Okay, she just recently moved knowing that Diddy was going to get out. She did not want him probably to know where she lived. So shout out to her. Y'all know she just had a baby boy. She has 2 other daughters along with her husband, Alex Fine. So they had to get the hell out of Dodge knowing that Diddy was going to get out so that he would not come back and try to retaliate against them for cooperating with the courts and the feds. So it said the Cassie's lawyers react to Diddy being sentenced to 50 months in prison, said that nothing can undo the trauma caused by Combs, said the sentence imposed today recognized the impact of serious offenses that he committed. Let's go ahead and read into what they're saying. Says, if you recall that Cassie took the stand and testified for 4 days during Diddy's SEX trafficking trial, her testimony focused on the alleged physical and sexual abuse that she endured at the hands of Diddy during their 11-year relationship. It also goes on to say that the sentence imposed today's the sentence imposed today recognizes the impact of the serious offenses he committed. We are confident that with the support of her family and friends, that Ms. Ventura will continue healing, knowing that her bravery and fortitude have been an inspiration to so many, her attorney Hernandez added. It goes on to say that in addition to being sentenced to 4 years in prison, that Diddy was ordered to spend the next 5 years on supervised release. I read somewhere else 7. This is saying 5. We'll go with this one, 5. And must pay a fine of $500,000. I don't know why other sites are saying 7. Okay, but we'll go with 5 since that's what they're saying here. Shout out to Neighborhood Talk. Okay, what do y'all think about that? That's a great picture, Cassie. Okay, again, I feel like he should have gotten more than that, but hey, we'll take any time because they could have sent his ass home and not given him any time. So the fact that they did give him time definitely shows that the judge felt he should have been sitting for a little bit longer for the crimes that he did commit. So shout out to the judge for doing that. Judge Salmaranian. All right. He's the man on the thumbnail, if you guys have seen that on this video. Let's get into some Tyrese news. And then we're going to let you guys go because it is Friday. I know y'all ready to get out and get into the streets, child. I know y'all ready to do that. But let's go ahead and get into this last and final topic because I don't want to hold y'all long. According to the Girls Are Fighting, Tyrese Gibson was arrested today in Atlanta for animal cruelty after his dogs fatally mauled a neighbor's pet. We've been talking about that this week in Car Chronicles. We've also done updates on that as well. I talked about it this morning where Tyrese said, hey, I'm not hiding out. I didn't go to Dubai. They said that he rehoused his dogs who were said to be violent. Y'all know that they did have a warrant for Tyrese, and he was supposed to turn his dogs in at a certain time. He did not do that, but chose to collect his dogs. And I want to say took him to a family member's house. He's saying he just lost his father 15 days ago and said he was with family, and he decided to take his dogs with him, knowing that the police was after his ass and looking for them damn dogs. Tyrese is accused of allowing his dogs to roam freely in the neighborhood, at which his dogs attacked another neighbor's dog, unaliving and mauling said dog. He has some huge dogs, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. According to the Girls Are Fighting, Tyrese Gibson was arrested in Atlanta for animal cruelty after his dogs fatally mauled a neighbor's pet. Now, the actor and singer Tyrese Gibson was arrested early Friday morning in Atlanta on a charge of animal cruelty following a disturbing incident involving one of his Cane Corso Mastiffs, okay, huge dogs. According to records from Fulton County, Georgia, said that Gibson was booked at 5:59 a.m. and later released after posting a $20,000 bond. Now, the arrest stems from a tragic event last month when at least one of Gibson's large breed dogs reportedly fatally attacked a 5-year-old Cavalier King Charles Spaniel named Henry in the smaller dog's own yard. It goes on to say that the incident took place on the night of September 18th, okay? Child. It said the TMZ previously spoke with Henry's owner, who described discovering his pet lifeless body covered in slobber. It said that he claimed that Gibson's dog frequently roamed the neighborhood off leashes. So he just let them do what the hell they want to do. Now, I do remember when I read up on and did the follow-up on this particular incident, Tyrese was saying he was not even home when said attack took place. So who got the dog off of the other dog? Who intervened with this incident with the dog if Tyrese was not home? Okay, that's my question. Who did that? Who got the dogs back in to where they wouldn't, be aggressive towards anyone else? Because had the police been called and they would have had to do it, I think they would have just taken the dog. So somebody was there to get those dogs, wrangle those dogs back up and put them where they needed to be put in order to avoid another incident. Okay. But he says he wasn't there. I don't believe it, but whatever. Said the Fulton County Police issued a warrant for Gibson's arrest earlier this week. It remains unclear whether the entertainer voluntarily surrendered to authorities or was taken, is what we hear and or know about Tyrese and this damn incident. So he did go to jail and he did bond out. on a $20,000 bond at 5:59 a.m. on today, actually this morning, early this morning at 5:59 a.m. He turned himself in, according to what they're saying here, and he did bond out. So he'll probably have a court date. They will probably order him to relinquish the dogs. They're probably gonna put the dogs down. That's probably why he ran with the dogs, because he knew anytime your dog is aggressive, and especially unalive someone else or attack someone else or another animal, they deem them as dangerous. So most of the time, if not all the time, they will put the dogs to sleep. All right. And I think he wanted to avoid that by taking his dogs and giving them to another family member or friend to house that dog, to get them out of the neighborhood so that police would not come and get the dogs. But that's not how it worked. If they have that warrant, you do have to turn the dogs in. So we'll see what happens. We will keep a close eye on this and everything else related to Diddy. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Let me comb and see what else is going on. I know Diddy is crying his eyes out because he really thought he was getting out. Like, why the fuck would you book 2 speaking engagements, y'all? What was Diddy thinking? Like, what was Diddy thinking to book 2 speaking engagements in Miami? Like he just knew he was getting out. I know the judge was like, let me show this motherfucker like he ain't running nothing. Like, let me show him he is not running anything to go and set up some speaking engagements, just like he is running that. I think he really did not get the fact that he is not running anything. And I guess he figures that out now, because his ass is going to sit until 2031 for being on that level of bullshit. But yeah, that's it, guys. I will tap back in tomorrow with you guys, okay? I hope y'all enjoyed the live. That Tyrese wouldn't pay child support for his daughter, but paying bonds from jail. Right. Sweet Essence, thank you. He fought tooth and nail not to pay child support for his child. And the only reason he did pay what he paid was because they locked his ass up, because he was in arrears for refusing to pay and follow a direct order for child support. And the only way he could get out of jail was to catch up the arrears rather, that he owed for said child support. So that's the only reason he paid it, because he wanted to get out of jail. But he's still fighting it and saying he don't believe and or feel that he still owes her any child support. I'm just like, fool. You and the wife aren't together anymore. The child is not living in your home. So naturally, you would have to pay child support for said child. The child is like 5, 6 years old. You owe child support. Okay. And then he thought it was slick. His other daughter, he moved into the home with him to avoid paying her mother child support. This nigga just don't want to take care of his responsibilities. But you about a dog, but you don't want to pay child support. Thank you, Sweet Essence, because that's definitely what happened here. All right. Said that Diddy thought that he was out of there. Yeah, he really thought that, to set up 2 speaking engagements. Like, oh yeah, I'll be there next week at 2:30. Like, what? No. The judge said, let me stop you right there, fool. Okay, said that he'll probably do 2 plus, and then said that 2 he's done. Said time served on good behavior. We'll see, child. Said he probably don't even see the child now. Probably don't. Faith Williams said that the arrogance, that he's arrogant. Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Tara says the child says that if I was gone in the secrets, I would have been gone since 5. What? Let me get out y'all business, child. Says Diddy had the nerve to book events before. Yeah, that was bold. That was a very bold move. So yeah, because he didn't want to do no time. Well, he definitely gonna do some damn time. Gloria Allred said after court that 2 of her clients have filed lawsuits against Diddy. Yeah, and y'all know I told y'all today that 2 other lawsuits were dropped on Diddy for sexual assault as well. So that's not a good look. I really hope that those cases get seen through as well. If he's found guilty of those, he may be getting some more time. So 2031, he was supposed to get out. They may extend that shit and he'll be sitting there longer than that, if that's the case. If they can find out something, or they may just pay it out if the time limit on that has gone out. We'll see, because y'all know Gloria already, honey, be on her stuff as related to her clients. So we'll see what it gives. Said he better not call Todd Chrisley from any jailhouse advice. What? Todd Chrisley? Child, they said that they should have given him more time, that he ain't nothing special, and period. Had that been anybody else with no money, his ass would have been getting life, or he would have got 20-something years like R. Kelly. Said that's Nicole Westmoreland, said that she represented someone who was in the YSL trial. Yep. Okay, she got up in there crying, honey, like she was at a funeral, they said. And they said Diddy's ass was crying up in there too. He should have been crying. He should have been crying. But that judge, I feel like the judge held him accountable. And I knew the judge was definitely going to give him some time. All right. And I think Diddy knew that shit too. That's why he whipped up them tears. They said the thanks, not enough time. Said the judge really don't care about Cassie or others about what they all have been through. Says that this is absurd, a waste of time. Yeah. That's a lot of freak offs, okay, that she had to endure for over a decade. Y'all imagine all of the freak offs that she was made to do, all of the abusive situations that she found herself in. Do you think that the video that was released by CNN was the first time that Diddy put his hands on her like that? I mean, we've heard testimony, even in the Diddy trial, where Don from Dirty Money testified that Diddy got mad at Cassie for didn't make his eggs right or fast enough, and he snapped off on her and proceeded to be abusive towards her then. And yeah, they said that they pretty much stayed out of it out of fear. And then the next day, Diddy bought all of them flowers and told them, hey, y'all didn't see anything. So they were made to be quiet for seeing something that maybe they weren't supposed to see when he snapped off on Cassie. So again, that's not the first time that he was abusive, but it's so crazy to me that his attorneys will make light of that and say, oh, you know, sometimes he just put his hands on the girls that he loved, when it's given that you are applauding that type of behavior like it's okay. Like, you didn't look at the video from CNN where he was hitting, kicking, punching her, and you didn't cringe at all. I mean, I've seen the shit like 4 or 5 times and I still cringe when I watch it. It's still cringe. Like, damn, what is wrong with people? It's like, y'all are just, oof, I don't know. But that is it, and that is all. Said the judge was sick of Diddy and was. Says, and I said, I'm surprised Cassie could still have kids. That too. Okay, baby, when I tell you she's popping them out, she had her first daughter and then she turned right back around and had another one. I'm hoping that she didn't. I'm hoping that she had them all via C-section, because if she was having said, you know, STDs or whatever that she said she had down there in the down there regions, I don't know if it was safe. Okay, any doctor that's a doctor and nurses, if y'all are in here, okay, RNs or whatever, y'all know when a woman has, you know, some stuff going on down there, they usually opt to go ahead and take the baby out by cesarean to avoid that baby passing through the vaginal canal and contracting whatever the mother has. Okay, because you know they do all. Anybody that's ever had a baby, you know, when you go to the doctor, they take all kinds of tests. All right, STD tests, all that. They swab you and all that, honey. You're gonna know what's going on with you and your body and that baby while you're carrying. So anything that she may have contracted, I'm sure they had to let her know, okay, so you're going to have this baby, but we're going to have to take it out via C-section for you and the safety of this baby. Because, you know, sometimes babies can be blind by certain STDs that they catch. Okay. That's just how it is. But I'm happy that they're saying that she is safe. Her children are okay. Her children appear to be fine. They don't seem like anything wrong with them. So I'm happy that she was able to become a mother, which is something she said she always wanted to do. So happy for her on that. She and her husband Alex fine, okay, because he saved her. He was her gym instructor. He was her, you know, workout coach. That's who Diddy hired to be her, you know, person who worked out with her. But she wound up falling in love with him, and they wound up having a relationship. And he got her the hell away from Diddy, and they're still together and married with kids now. So shout out to them for that. I feel like that was God. You know, or maybe her guardian angel being sent to her to get her away from Diddy out of that situation. So shout out to her. All right. And shout out to him as well. But thank y'all for coming by. Okay. Thank you to all of my mods. Thank you, Sweet Essence. Thank you, Tyra. Thank you, KBR. Thank you, Scorpion Miss. Did I miss anybody? And that's it, Tyra, Sweet Essence, KBR. Oh, Rose Olmstead as well. Thank y'all so much. Thank you to all the content creators that joined this live as well. You guys know who you are, including all of my Caramellians. Y'all know I love y'all down. Thank y'all for being so patient. Again, my apologies for having to push this live back. I had a little emergency earlier that I had to go and handle. And I'm back home now, and I'm in my bed now, and thank God. So I had to go ahead and push this live out so that we could get this info to you. So thank y'all so much for your patience on that. All right. Thank y'all for a great well. All right. And if nothing else, we're going to get out of here. Love you guys down.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Even when you feel low, you can still